Hello everyone, I'm Buford MC, and welcome back to GregTech New Horizons. Today, our main goal is to get the tool forge, and since last time, I've been hard at work trying to get the obsidian we need so that we can make the alumite which we need to get to the tool forge. So, as you can see here, I've already got a stack of obsidian, so I went on a pretty large mining trip with our steel pickaxe, and I leveled it up, so the mining level is now at level 5, which is obsidian level, and we have now already got a stack of obsidian, which is really good. So, this is actually not too bad to mine. Normally obsidian takes forever to mine, but with all of these haste things we've got on here with the redstone, it's really not that bad. I mean, our mining speed on this pickaxe is 22, so it's actually quite good. So, we really go through obsidian at a pretty decent rate. I think it takes like a second or two a piece, but yeah, I went ahead and went to one of the underground lava kind of lakes we have nearby. It's the place I think I got my lava for the smeltery from. So I basically used half of it and I put water over it, turned it into obsidian, and I started digging into it so we could get some of that obsidian. So yeah, we've got about a stack of it now, so we're in pretty good shape in order to make some alumite. And that is going to be the first goal we need to get to today. So, nighttime has quickly creeped up on me here, so let's go to sleep here. Now, I do have some machines running as well. I've been working on, well, a couple of things, just trying to stock up on various things. So, we've got some bronze cooking up over here. We can take some of that. We've got 31 blocks of coal. So, I've been working on that, trying to make sure we've got some more coal coke for the blast furnace. Store that in there for now. We won't cook it up just yet. I think those things are getting quite full. Our bronze is over here. So, we've also got more tin. So, I'm up to 714 tin ingots. We've got some copper as well. A little bit of that. I probably need to get a bit more still, although I think we've actually got some cooking up over here, possibly. Oh, that's more tin. That's tin. There's the copper. A little bit more copper. And a little bit more copper. So I have a little bit of copper I've been cooking up. But yeah, I went out and got some tin. Well, I focused on tin, copper, and coal. So we've got a lot of those things. And that's how we were able to level up our pickaxe. I think I actually had some stuff in here as well. So yeah, we've got some of this ground cassiterite sand as well, which I was using in the macerator. So I don't normally macerate the raw ores, but for what I did was I took a little bit of my cassiterite that I got from the tin vein I went to. And with cassiterite, it's a bit different than a normal ore because what you normally get is you get 1 ingot from the ore. With cassiterite, you get 2 ingots, and when you macerate it, you actually get 4 of these. Now, these only smelt down to 1 ingot, but it's still pretty good to have. So let's go ahead and smelt some of that, just to get a little bit more tin going. There we go. So yeah, that's what I've been up to, doing a lot of mining, trying to get things ready so that we can get to the tool forge today. So, how do we get to the tool forge? Well, if we take a look at our quest book, we need to make some alumite first in order to unlock the quest. And we need this in order to get to the quest as well. So the first thing we need to do is make this. And you want to click on, not the GregTech version, it's the Tinker's Construct version. And we use that in the casting table. Now, to make this, we're going to need a couple of things. And I went over this, I think we went over this last time. But we need a couple of things that are not the easiest thing to get. They're not impossible, obviously. We have these, but it's certainly not common materials, I'd say. So we need some aluminium, which is most of what we need. We need a bit of steel, and we need a bit of molten obsidian. So we have to put all of this in the smeltery, alloy it together to get the alumite. Now, aluminium, let's kind of go over this one by one, kind of what we're going to use. So the aluminium we're going to get from this aluminium gravel ore, which we can use in the smeltery to get 144 millibuckets. And what we're going to have to use this for is we're going to have to use quite a bit of this in order to get what we need. So that's the first kind of ingredient that we need. The second ingredient is going to come from the steel, which we've been making inside of the blast furnace. So that's continuing to work away. So we've got an okay amount of that. It just comes in slowly. I haven't installed the other 2 blast furnaces yet, but I will be doing that very soon. Not inside the base, of course. I'll be moving the whole thing at some point soon. And that'll be a temporary thing, obviously. But that's going to be how we get our steel. And then the obsidian. This is the interesting one, because if we take a look at obsidian itself and look at how to smelt this stuff down in the smeltery, if I can find it. Nope, that's not it. Let's take a look again. Where is it at? I saw it before. Let's see if I can find this. Am I missing it? Uses. Nope, that's not it. There it is, smeltery melting. I was just not seeing that. So, if we smelt down an obsidian inside of the smeltery, we get 288 millibuckets, which is basically equivalent to 2 ingots. So, that's okay and all. So, with this, we'd get about a decent amount. But I have learned a little bit of a secret. I've kind of, well, maybe not a secret, but I found a little bit of an interesting situation with obsidian that we can do. And what we can do with obsidian is we don't have to use this obsidian the way it is. Instead, we can use something called an obsidian ingot. And how do you get this obsidian ingot, and why is it worth it to do this? Why do I think it's worth it? Well, to get an obsidian ingot, how we do it is we have to use, I believe it's the Alloy Smelter, obsidian, but we need something called an ingot mold. But if we do that, we get 9 obsidian ingots. Now, keep in mind, 1 obsidian gives us 9 obsidian ingots. This smelts in the smeltery to give us 288 millibuckets of obsidian. 1 obsidian ingot inside of the smeltery is 144 millibuckets. So, obsidian itself gives us 2 ingots worth of obsidian, but we can turn that into 9 ingots. So basically, we're kind of making more obsidian just by turning it into ingots, at least in terms of how the smeltery works. So that is what we're going to do first. We're going to go ahead and make these molds right here. So there's a quest here to get these molds that's available to us, and that's what we're going to do first so that we can try and get these obsidian ingots. So how do we make these molds first? Well, to make the molds, we need 2 things. We need to use the smeltery, and we're going to need 2 things. We need molten steel, which we need to put on top of something called a casting form of the same type of the mold we want to make. So this is a mold for casing. This needs a casting form for casing mold. And what we need to make these is we need a blank cast. And we need to make, I believe, 6 of these because we're making 6 of them. This is just 1 ingot of molten aluminum brass, which we have. So I've already prepared the smeltery what we'll need to make these molds. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of pour out the aluminum brass first. And I think we need about 6 of these. So here we go. We just get the first one, and then we're going to have to kind of mold these into what we want. So let's go ahead and get these out, and then we'll put the steel in. We've already got the steel in to make everything we need. We're going to need exactly 24 ingots. So the molds are not going to be cheap to make, but to knock this quest out, we might as well do it. So that'll be the 5th one right there. And this will be the final one we need. So to actually kind of mold these the way we want them to be, we have to put them in a crafting table like this, and now we have to look at the recipes. So we want to make the casing mold first, so we need hammer, file like that. We can just shift click like that. There's the casing. Now we'll do the gear one. Maybe it won't look like that, but that's alright. That'll be the gear one. Next we need to do the ingot mold. And we'll put the file here. So basically it's just different configurations of the hammer and the file. And I could put this one here, that'll give us the ball mold, which in fact is the next one we need. And we need the nugget mold. That's not it. Oh, in fact, actually, that nugget mold... No, that's the block mold. Yep, we do need that one. So we'll take that one. Now we just need to make the nugget mold, which is... maybe here? Nope, that's a bottle. How do we make the nugget mold? Ah, you moved the hammer that time. So you put the file here, the hammer goes here. So that's a little bit different. But there's the nugget mold, so that'll be quite good. And now what we need to do is we need to move some stuff out. Put these in our hotbar, and we just start kind of casting the steel out on top of them, I believe. Let me just make sure of that. Yep, so we just pour out the steel on top. And there we go, we start getting it. So it's a couple of ingots a piece, but it's not too bad. So there's the first one. Here's the second one. Just again, once there is our casing mold. There is the gear mold. Now, what we're probably going to need a chest for these, because these are going to be used with the Alloy Smelter. So in fact, let's actually see if we can grab a chest and put that near there and put these in there. So that we can use them. I don't think we're going to be using them just yet, except to make the obsidian ingots, but No, we will be using them. So there's the ingot mold. Let's put this right here for now. And looks like we've got a little bit more bronze ready. So let's take that. Yeah, we're doing quite well on resources, though, like I said. So 451 bronze. That's pretty good. Steel's still a little bit slow, but we're getting it. But we did use quite a bit just to make these molds here. So that would be the block one, I believe. There's the ball mold. Not sure what we use that one for. Mold for making balls. Interesting. So, let's go ahead and make this one here for the nuggets. Nugget mold, I believe. So this one's for blocks. So that'll make things like, I bet you we can make, wonder if you can make obsidian back from the ingots with that one. Not sure we really need to do that. We just need to get the ingot. But there we go. Molds, molds, molds. That quest is now complete. Get those in there. See what we get for that quest. So we can get a loot bag or empty shape plate. Raw plate to make molds and extruder shapes. How do you make that? Let's take a look at that. So empty shape plate. Quadruple steel plate. Okay. Or you just put, oh, it's just 4 ingots of steel inside of the casting table. But what do you do with this? Basic tool casting machine. Okay, so this is used for some sort of a machine. Or we can use it for something. Tool casting mold. You can actually smelt it back into steel, so maybe we can get some of our steel back. Okay, I'm going to take that because that seems like a decent reward to have. So I'll put that there. And in fact, we should be using a new backpack as well. I'll put the coins in there for now, so I don't have to go back and forth all the time with those. Because I will be knocking out a couple of quests today. That's the goal. So we got that quest done. So now we can try and make some of these obsidian ingots. So let's see how we do that. So what we should do is put in the mold ingot here. And I should be able to just put in... I don't know, we can put 16 in here for now. There we go. So it starts running and we should get some obsidian ingots, which should help us to make some more obsidian here in a bit. At least molten obsidian for the alumite. Now, I still have to work out the exact ratio of the stuff we need to make the alumite. Let's take a look and see if we can figure that out while we're getting some obsidian ingots here. So, alumite ingot. I think there's another way you can make it later. Let's actually just look up alumite. Because I don't think it's going to change. It was actually, I think, the dust I wanted to see. Let's see if we can find it. There's the alumite dust. Was it here? Yes. So alumite dust, we can make it in a mixer with 2 obsidian, 5 aluminium, and 2 steel. So I'm assuming that ratio is going to be the same for the smeltery. At least that's what I hope. So I'm going to assume we need that. Now, how much do we need? If we look at this, we actually get... So we get the same amount of obsidian and steel as we put in. So we're going to get 2 ingots per this. But we need 5 of aluminium. So I've got to think about this a bit. We might want to make a little bit extra. So I think what we'll do is we'll go with... I'm not sure. 20 of each. So let's see if we can get 20 steel. So we need some of this. I'm not sure how many that we need. Probably more than that. Let's see, I think we need 50 in that case of this, which is quite a bit, it sounds like, but I think we need it. Yeah, that would make sense. So 20, 20, and 50. That should be enough to make what we need. So we'll throw this in. So we've only got 45 slots in here, so we'll let that go through first. That's the most stuff we need. Now, I've got plenty of this stuff around, but, you know, it's not infinite. You know, honestly, what I should have done just now, I realize, can I actually... Yeah, we can get crushed aluminium. Can you smelt that in? No, you can't smelt that in, though. Can you smelt something like aluminium dust in? Ah, you can. So you, we could have we kind of wasted a bit of that, didn't we? Well, I'll keep that in mind for next time. I might process this down. In fact, I'll wait for that now. Let me know if that's something I should do or not with this stuff, because that looks like something I should do to get the most out of the aluminium. But it's too late now. I've already smelted all this in. So we have 45 ingots in there. 45 ingots. Oh, because I was supposed to put 5 more in. Yeah, it only holds 45 max. So let's put 5 more in. And let's see how the obsidian looks. Oh, wow, that was fast. Okay. So we only really need 20 of these. If I've done the calculations correctly, I think. And we should need 20 steel. I sure hope I've done all my calculations. So that goes in steel, obsidian, and then 5 more of that. So that should all go in. And, well, we'll see what we get. We should end up with 20 alumite, but there's a high chance possibly my calculations are wrong. So we're getting more of that. Oh, we have some tin in here. Interesting. Probably just smelting down some excess tin. We have some bronze here, and that's looking good. Okay, so where do I want to put these at? Let's put these over here. This is where I put the other kind of Tinker's related stuff. You know, something we use with the smeltery or something like that. Oh, hang on a minute here. Oh, how did this get here? Huh. Why is there a spawnable block here? I never noticed that. How do we want to fix that? I'll just put a torch there for now. That's fine. Looks a little weird, but it's alright. So, do we have anything in here? What are we looking at? There it is! Molten Alumite! We did it! Wonderful! So, we have the Alumite. Now we need to make the tool forge itself, which is going to need some Alumite large plates. So, let's take a look at how we get that. So, that's going to be, I believe, 8 Alumite ingots. So, we should have the large plate here, large plate cast, and we're going to need to do that twice. We should have enough of them. We'll probably make a couple ingots. So, this is going to take a few minutes here just to do this, it looks like. Let's see. Oh, it's actually not that long. I thought that progress bar was going to take a while. So we should be able to just do another one. So we have the first one. And we should get the second one very quickly. So what else do we need for this tool forge then? We are going to need some blocks of iron. Ooh, seared stone slab. Which is just a piece of seared stone. Do we have any of this? Nope. Do we have any of this by any chance? No. Okay, so seared stone, if I remember, that is actually inside of the casting basin in the smeltery, so we need to cook up some cobblestone, I believe. How much do we need? 360? If I remember correctly, we made this before because we needed it for this guy right here, the casting table. So if I remember correctly, I think it's like 20 cobblestone we needed. So let's see if that works. And we'll work on that. Well, that's actually smelting up. Let's work on something else, because I did want to get a couple other things done for today. So another thing I want to make... I mentioned this last time. I'm not sure why we didn't make it, but I figured we should get this workbench backpack made just so I can show you what that is. I'm not exactly sure, but I think I remember what that is. So we need to make a steel ring again. Steel. We're using quite a bit of that today, but it's alright. We're going to get much more soon. And we need our hammer. There's the steel ring. And we need a crafting station. We need to cut a crafting station. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Let's see. Do we have any flint in here? Do I have wood? I have wood over here. And we just need to cut you. And I think we cut you again. Yep. Take his little legs off. And that should make the workbench backpack. Lovely. So that should complete a quest. There we go. What engineer doesn't want a portable workbench? So this is basically a small backpack, but it is small. I mean, we've only got one row here, 9 items. But it has a crafting table in it, but I think it's just too small. I don't know if you can upgrade this. Now, I should have mentioned before as well, but the backpack we're wearing on our back here, we can upgrade this later on. But for that, we need to make stainless steel, which is probably quite a bit far away, I think, from being able to be made. So, yeah, we actually upgrade it to middle backpack, so 63 slots. Ours has 36, so pretty big upgrade, almost double. Pretty good, but that'll be a ways off. But for now, this is an interesting one, but I think it's just too small. So, I don't know. It says tier 1, so maybe you can upgrade it. I don't know. But I'm not sure. We'll put it away over here somewhere. And we'll put it with the tools for now. We don't need that. We did knock out a quest, though, which gives us some coins, it looks like. We can throw those away into here for now. So, how are we looking over on this stuff? So, there is our seared stone, which we need to get in the casting basin, I believe. Let's see if we got enough. Nope. I didn't want to do that. Okay, well, actually, it's not a major problem. Well, no, I might just start filling this up, won't it? Oh, no, it won't. Okay. So, it looks like it's not just going to go in here. What I can do is I can just replace this. So, there's the seared stone we needed, and if I take you, we should be able to salvage that alumite still. If I get an ingot cast, put you there. There we go. We're just making alumite ingots now, so that's alright. Alright. Thankfully, we salvaged that situation, so the smeltery is now empty. We have this. We need to cut this guy with a saw. That gives us our seared stone slab, and what else do we need at this point? We only need one of those, so I'll put the other one in here somewhere, I guess. So we have that. We have tool station. We have that. Blocks of iron. So we need to make some more blocks of iron, it looks like. So we need, I think, 4 of them, so that's 36 ingots. There we go. We'll put that in our nice little high-pressure compressor. 15 seconds, so that'll take about a minute for all 4. So while we're working on that, let's do another quest I wanted to get done. So we've done the workbench. The other thing I wanted to also do today was make the tank, which we can finally make now that we have the obsidian. So we need some obsidian dust for that, and I looked up this recipe already, and if we macerate 1 obsidian, we don't need to do the ingots for this, because 1 obsidian, it does take about 20 seconds, but 1 obsidian should give us, I think, 9 dust straight up, so it's the same amount we would get from the ingots. So that's quite a good thing. Put that away for now. And looks like we got our alumite. So there's the large plates we need. We'll put the alumite away in the ingot chest. Oh, and that, I forgot that completed the quest, didn't it? Good thing we made those then, because I forgot we actually need an alumite ingot for this quest, so that's quite good that we made that. So what can we get out of this? Thorium tool rod. We actually got one of those from a quest recently. I'm still not sure whether or not to use it or not. Block of gold, 8 steel ingots, or loot bag. I'm going to go with the steel just because we still don't have a lot of it. I just don't think we're going to get anything better than that from a loot bag. And we'll put the coins away in here for now. And we're going to check on that obsidian dust. So there's the obsidian dust we have. So let's go ahead and try and make this tank now so we can get that knocked out. So this is an interesting process here. We need 2 iron rings. It is nighttime again also. Let's go to sleep quickly. There we go. So we need some iron rings. Okay, we've got the rods there. What else do we need, actually? 4 iron screws. Do we have those on us? Probably not. So we need a little bit more iron, then. Cut that up. Make the bolts. And then we get some more screws. There we go. So next we need to get the clear glass. So we have 1 glass here, though. It's not clear glass. Let's see if we can get that to clear glass. So if I remember correctly as well, this was quite an interesting process you have to go through to make this. So let's see if we can figure it out. So clear glass, what we need to get is 4 obsidian dust, and we need 1 thickened glass to make obsidian glass. Now the thickened glass is the clear glass you just put in the crafting table. I don't know why they couldn't just make you use the clear glass, but apparently you just have to do that. So kind of weird, but it's alright. In fact, I think we're going to want 2 of these. Not for the quest, but for myself, I think I want to make 2 of these, in fact. We've got enough obsidian dust in the 1, so let's put that away, and let's make 1 more. Well, the glass is over here, actually. There we go, and there we go. So what we need to do now is come over, I believe, to the Alloy Smelter. We don't need to put any of this stuff in. I'll take that out. And you. And I believe we come here at thickened glass and the obsidian dust. There we go. So that starts working on it. So that'll give us the obsidian glass, which we need for the tank. And that should be everything. We should be ready to make 2 tanks at this point, which I'm going to use to store creosote oil in so I can just have a lot easier access. So basically, I'd just come over here, I'd go shoo, 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 and then I'd start filling these things up. In fact, we've got some tin right here. So let's take that tin and put that away. And what else do we have? So there's our obsidian glass we need. Now, something else also I wanted to make, and we don't need these molds, by the way, so let's remove that. We don't need the obsidian ingot. We don't need those. So I also wanted to make this reinforcement here as well. So this is also a quest, but there's the obsidian glass. Let's make these tanks first, then I'll do the reinforcement, and then we'll do the tool forge finally. So obsidian glass, we should be able to make this very easily. So there we go, there's that. Oh, I need more iron to make a second one, don't I? Well, that's alright, we got one for now. I'll make a second one later. So that should knock out the quest, there we go. So we've got, let's see here. Oh, in fact, we can actually get another one from a loot reward here. Oh, let's take it, why not? Get a second tank. Now, eventually we can upgrade this to an iron tank. We just need a little bit more iron, some panes. This isn't too bad to make, actually. Let's go ahead and make that. I think we've got enough resources to make one, just to get that quest knocked out as well. So let's see here. I think we just need a little bit of files. We cut you. And we file it again. So that should be enough for that. And let's see if we can make the iron tank. Oh, that's a steel one. Iron tank. Oh, we need double iron plates, which we do have. I have plenty of iron plates on me, so I can make those. And now we should be able to make the iron tank. Looks like there's other kinds as well. Copper tank, steel tank, gold tank, diamond. It's quite a few, actually. Interesting. We're going to make the iron tank. This one holds 32 buckets, so this one's 16. The upgraded one is 32 buckets. So that should be iron tank. We're also using some glass panes, it looks like. I'm not sure where I got those from. Maybe I cut some glass earlier. There we go. There's some iron tank, and we've got that knocked out. So what we can basically do with this, and what's cool about these also is I believe you can stack these. Not sure if you can stack different types, but you can at least put one here. And what I can do is, in fact, these things have all stopped up because they're full of creosote oil. So what I can go ahead and do, just to kind of demonstrate it a bit, I can come here, fill these up, and just start going like this. If I grab that, we'll be good. And, I can at least try and empty these out so they'll start running again. Or they're just empty, actually, never mind. I thought they were too full to run. Well, anyways. I think you get the idea. I'm just going to fill this up with creosote oil, so at least I have a little bit easier way of getting creosote oil instead of having to always come over here and then walk over here to get the creosote oil. It just makes everything one kind of fluid motion now. So yeah, that's quite a good upgrade to have. So, now that we've done that, we get that right there, which is a loot bag. Try to remember to open some of these at the end of the episode when we're done. Shouldn't be too much longer, I don't think. Coins will go in here for now, and we don't need the obsidian. Well, actually, no, we do. I was going to make this other thing as well, wasn't I? So we got the tank. We have the reinforcement thing, so I need to get this obsidian large plate to make this, and we need some steel as well. But we need 8 ingots of obsidian. Put that in there, and we need 2 bits of steel as well. So that's going to be a quest we have over here. Reinforced X Unbreakable. So we need that, or we need to get the large plate pattern still. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, never mind. We don't need to cook this up here, don't we? Okay, I'm going to stop that because I forgot you actually can just use, I think, the pot builder for this. Let's take a look at that. So it wants us to have the large plate pattern, and yeah, you can just do it like that. You don't even need to use the smeltery for that. So there we go, that helps a bit. You still need the smeltery though in order to make the final part of this, which is going to be making the final part of it, which is this one, the reinforcement itself. So we should just be able to pour some steel on top of this. 2 ingots, I believe. And there we go. Reinforcement. So what this basically does, if I'm remembering correctly, at least if I'm reading this correctly too, we can increase our level of reinforced. Now I've noticed here we have reinforced 2 on our steel pickaxe, which basically means we have a 20% chance, I believe right now, of not having our durability decrease when we break a block. If I add this as a modifier onto it, that'll go up to 30%, and once it hits 10, it's 100%, meaning it will never break. So that's quite a cool thing we could do. Now I'm not sure if I should do it on this. I'm kind of thinking we should do it maybe on like the hammer, mining hammer or something, when we make that, but we'll see. I'll hold on to it for now. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking about whether or not I should use those or not, because I think even the quest mentions that it's not really that needed. See, in many cases, this is not worth it, since the tools don't degrade that fast. It doesn't cost much to repair. Well, for me, I kind of view it as we'd stop having to repair it with stuff like steel for now. Using steel for other stuff would be a lot more useful, I feel like. Well, we'll figure it out. Let me know what you think about that. So, we've got the reinforcement, and that's that. So the last thing we need to do is the tool forge. So, the iron blocks, I think those have been done for quite a while now, but we've got them now, and we should be able to make the tool forge now. Oh, we still need the tool station. Let's go ahead and grab that. So we need to get the tool station. We're finally going to upgrade you. Oh, still not detecting it. Oh, we need to cut the tool station, it looks like. So let's do that. There we go. So we cut the tool station like that. And now we should be able to make the tool forge. There we go. So here we go. We finally got the tool forge, which is going to allow us to make much better tools. Let's see. Is that... Yep, there it is. Tool forge. So we got this quest knocked out just now, which is going to give me... Ooh, 16 obsidian. I think I'm going to take that right now. And we've got the tool forge, which is going to give us a loot bag and some more coins. Put those coins away, quite a few coins today. And there we go. So we can put our tool forge here. And now we have access to much better materials. Or tools, I should say. So hammer, lumber axe, excavator. Yeah, this is going to be really good. So this is really going to be some big stuff we're going to do here. So, but I think we're going to wait for next time because I think I'm going to need to get a little bit more steel. Well, I'm not sure, though. I don't know if I'm going to make these tools out of steel or not. We'll see. Let me know about that, too, but I don't know. I'll have to make that decision. I might make them out of iron at first, but I'll make that decision. We're not going to make them today, though. But yeah, I think that's pretty much most of the stuff we wanted to get done. So we got the tool forge, we got the Alumite, everything else is off the list. And yeah, so let's end off by opening up some of the loot bags we got. Looks like, well, we've only got a couple. 3 of them. Let's see what we get. So we got some hearty breakfast, some potions of regeneration, not bad. We got, ooh, a delighted meal. That's like one of the best foods right there, so that's quite good. Gives you all the nutrients, gives you basically maximum hunger, so this is quite good. And the final loot bag, spawn a squid. Well, that one wasn't too good. Not like we're really lacking any squid around these parts, but yeah. So yeah, I think that'll do it. So we got most of what I wanted to get done there done. And yeah, we'll be able to carry on and make some better tools, I think, next time. Now that we finally have the tool forge. So, with that, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.